Hey guys, what's going on? It's Savage here, and today we're going to be talking about Miles Morales and why I believe Miles Morales is way better than Spider-Man PS4. Now, I know that it might be a controversial take, right? I don't know. I don't really give a fuck who thinks what. That's fine if you have your own opinion and a personal preference on what you like to play. But I think that Miles Morales is an improvement, and it also sets the base for future Spider-Man games to come. Because honestly, I don't see. In my opinion, let's just start off with the fucking basic and the most obvious thing that they improved, which was the web swinging. The web swinging is 10 times better. The tricks that you could be able to do, the entire traversal itself is just 10 times more fun to do. I mean, I'm just lost just doing it. You know, of course, I've been stuck inside for most of the month just with COVID. But of course, you know, being stuck inside has given me a good perspective on this game, and actually playing it a lot of the days, it's just like it's really impressive how they are able to do what they did with this game, because I didn't really, in the last game, I didn't see how they can make it any better. I played it today to play it, you know, just to see how it really was compared to the other game, you know, to Miles Morales, Spider-Man PS4, and I was like, wow, this is very different. It's so night and day. It's almost like a completely different game, and it almost, you know, it basically is. So I think for the web swinging, you give the point to Miles, and even with the combat too, you give the point to Miles. And again, for the, I'll keep it short and simple, the stealth you give to Miles. And for the story, that's all personal preference. Of course, more people like Miles. I mean, more people like Peter than Miles, and more people are familiar with Peter than Miles. And of course, the story hit home for a lot more people. I mean, I don't know. It was emotional for me for Miles and for of course, Spider-Man PS4. They were very good stories in general, and they were, I mean, you know, very good defining stories for these characters as well. At least in the gaming realm, they're stories that people will go to and be like, wow, that's like the definitive version of the gaming Spider-Man. And I think that with Miles, there are a lot of things that it does, you know, with the character that's more like personal and emotional, and you know, a little bit more grounded than of course Spider-Man PS4. But of course Spider-Man PS4 is going for a completely different thing, and they were going for completely different things. So again, the story is all preference. It's like, what do you like more? And you know, I don't know. I feel like I liked Miles Morales more. The pacing was better. I'm on my second playthrough now, and I feel like the pacing is actually really good. There are some things that I don't like about the dialogue and the plot, but that's the same thing that I felt about the first game. I felt like some of the gameplay or some of the dialogue and some of the choices made by characters was just stupid and odd, you know, like it just really weird sometimes. And, you know, you could see that follow through in Miles, and I think that for Marvel Spider-Man 2, which will be the sequel to the first game and not, you know, Miles Morales, which I mean, technically it would be, but, you know, it would be a continuation of this universe. I hope they fix that, because in both games, the stories and the dialogue is just odd at some points. It shines when it shines, but when it's at the low points, you really feel it. You know what I mean? Overall, I think that Miles did a better job with everything. I think that this is the Arkham City of the Spider-Man games, considering it is a sequel to basically what most people would consider one of the most definitive Spider-Man games ever, kind of like what people did with Arkham Asylum. The fact that it took 2 years to make, the fact that they improved upon basically every aspect of, you know, the last game, it's just like, it is the Arkham City of the Spider-Man games. And it's hard to look at future Spider-Man games, kind of like how you look at the Arkham combat and like the Arkham world, you know what I mean? Like Arkham Asylum is so it's so isolated compared to Arkham City, and with the Arkham Asylum combat too, it's very slow, and you know, there's only like a limited amount of enemies. With Arkham City, they throw a lot at you, and it's very fast, and it feels more impactful, and you know, the story's better and whatever, and the gameplay and the gliding's better because it's a larger city. And you know, I feel like that's what it's like for Miles Morales. Even though they didn't change the map a lot, they didn't really do much besides change a few buildings and whatnot. Overall, they still managed to improve upon everything, including the map, with a few buildings that were changed. It was still incredible. So overall, I think that this game was phenomenal. Again, I gave it a 10 out of 10. I don't know if I gave Spider-Man PS4 a 10. I might have given it a 9 out of 10. I'm going to be honest for my review. But I think that Miles Morales is better overall as a video game. I'm just enjoying myself a lot more, and it's hard for me to literally play Spider-Man PS4 or Peter Parker in Miles Morales when you do the glitch. It's so hard for me to play those characters because it's just like, oh my god, I have to. The swinging is just so. The swinging is so night and day, and it feels so different. It's like I love playing as Miles more. I don't know. I wish they like if the Spider-Man remaster did like the Miles Morales thing and kind of implemented the tricks into that. That would have been awesome, but they didn't. Um, Overall, I think the game was really really fun, and again, I think it was better than the Spider-Man PS4. If you don't, if you don't agree, that's fine. If you think that the story was everything and it was like a make or break thing for you, that's good too. But overall, I think that everybody can agree with the web swinging, the combat, and the stealth. With the story, I can see how people can disagree, but I don't know how you can disagree with all those other points, and all those other points triumph, of course, the story, in my opinion. The gameplay and the web swinging, that's all fundamental and should be driven home. And the story, in my opinion, was good enough for a game that wasn't even full price and was marketed as a spin-off game. I personally think that they did good. So tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys don't agree with me, that's fine. I personally think that, it was. But yeah, let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more videos in the future. And I will see you guys in my next one. Peace out.